Yo, what's up, guys? Your boy, Mr. Venture. I'm back in another video, and today we are reacting to the OG Daffy. He made a video called "The Delusion of One Piece Haters." Disclaimer: I used to be a One Piece hater, so I'm very curious of what he has to say. I am a One Piece fan now, so maybe he talks about that. I haven't watched the video yet, but we definitely gonna get into it and see what he comes up with, and what his opinions are, because I'm definitely curious on what he has to say. So let's get into it.
I used to be One Piece's biggest hater. Now, for
Same.
a lot of long-term fans of the channel, you guys know that early on my channel, I always talked about I would never start One Piece, I would never give it a chance, I'd die before I watch One Piece. Originally, it was a joke, but just as time went on more and
But what's crazy is a lot of people talk like that. I mean, shit, I was one of them. Like, my homies used to talk about One Piece like crazy. Like, oh, One Piece is this, One Piece is that. It's so peak, bro. It's so peak. You don't even know anything about Gear 5. Luffy is the most OP protagonist. And I'll just be like, bro, I don't give a fuck. Like, I don't care. Like, I don't care anything about that. Like, it's cool. It ain't that good. It's pretty good.
more, I was just like, it doesn't seem like it'd be for me. A lot of the misconceptions that I had regarding One Piece, as you guys see throughout my journey, they're directly confronted, and I'm a huge One Piece fan now. I mean, you guys literally saw my channel profile better change. You know what I mean?
That's kind of
I did not
hard.
think I would be as big of a fan as I currently am, and to think that this all started with a bet, which I'm not going to reference in terms of spoilers. I don't want to spoil people on JJK's future, but to think that I would come to love this series as much as I do off of just something as whimsical as a bet, I did not expect it. It's just very interesting to me. People talk about the One Piece effect, how like, oh, like you will hate One Piece until you actually give it a chance. Now, understandably, going through the East Blue Saga, the first 100 chapters of the series, it was a bit difficult. I'm not gonna lie. Some of it did feel like it was dragging.
This is probably my favorite point, obviously, so far. I haven't seen the rest of it to say. That saga is so hard to get through, bro. Oh my god. Like, it took me 3 or 4 different tries to actually walk through, like, to get through the East Blue. Like, I don't know what it is about it. It's just so I don't like it. Like, at the end of the day, I just didn't like it. I just felt like it was boring. Like, obviously there's some cool stuff that happens during the East Blue saga, but like, it just didn't feel like it was like it didn't entrap me into it. It didn't pull me in. It didn't. I was just like, okay, this is some real goofy stuff going on. Like cool. Like, Luffy has gum powers and he can stretch real far. That's cool. He wants to be a pirate and he doesn't have a ship, and then he gets one. You're like, okay, cool. But I mean, I agree with that 100%. I mean, One Piece fans, you know,
Obviously, the Syrup Village arc was just kind of
that was it was some fire parts in there. It was some cool parts in there, but for the most part, this part was definitely trash.
didn't really care for the villains. They seemed kind of cookie cutter. We have Usopp's introduction, which is fine, but
I didn't like Usopp in the beginning. I actually didn't like Nami in the beginning either.
it wasn't until Arlong Park where I was like, okay, I see the vision. I see what's cooking here.
This scene right here, this is the first time that I actually got chills while watching East Blue. First time. And I was like, okay. Like, when you get them chills from a show, you like, oh, like, this is something fire about to happen. Like, it's about to get crazy. Like, this part right here, it gave me that feeling. That's what made me keep watching through East. Like, once I got like here, all on part, I just cruised through, because it was just like, okay, if this show gonna be bringing stuff out like this, then this show's some heat.
And then before that, we have the Badatsi arc with Sanji. And I really enjoyed Sanji's backstory specifically, but I think it's an Arlong Park where I was really like, okay.
Facts.
I think I'm semi-locked in.
Facts.
Now, then I moved on to the Alabasta Saga. Now, the Alabasta Saga was long, yes, but that was the point, I think, where I was truly starting to enjoy the ride with One Piece. And I went through Skypiea, I blitzed through Skypiea, and
Skypiea too,
I was going. Water 7, Eddie's Lobby, that's so quick. Dude, Marineford, I finished Marineford.
Marineford, I mean, I've already told y'all this, but Marineford is still my favorite. it's still my favorite freaking arc. Like it's just so good. It's so good. Like so good.
For like the Marineford saga with Impel Down, Marineford, as well as the Return to Sabaody arc. I did that in like 2 days. I absolutely crushed it. By the way, there's some psycho that comment on the channel. He said he was watching 30 episodes of One Piece a day.
I ain't gonna lie. I had like 1 or 2 days where I blitzed probably like 20, 25 episodes in a day. Yeah. I was getting ready for my deployment and I was like, yeah, I'm just gonna watch some One Piece. I had to go to work, so I was definitely blitzing through it, and it was definitely easy to just sit there and watch 20 episodes and be like, damn, what time is it? Like, damn, whole day done went by. It was crazy.
There's no way. That's cap. There's no, bro.
Nah, it ain't cap. You can do it. If you don't do nothing, you can literally, I mean, it depends on how your house set up. Like my house had the kitchen and a living room like right next to each other, so I could literally watch the TV as I'm cooking. Like it was perfect. I had the perfect setup at that point. I mean, it's a little bit different now. My kitchen is around the corner, so I can't really watch a show and do that. But that setup, oh, it's definitely possible for sure.
Brother, you was watching up to 14 to 13 and a half hours of One Piece daily.
Hey, some of us be no life and sometimes. I understand. I
don't believe it. I refuse to believe it. Now, obviously, as someone looking from the outside in, whatever I like will tell my real friends now, hey, you need to watch One Piece. They'll be like, no, man, that's just too long. And I listen.
I understand.
It does look kind of crazy though. Like I'm 700 chapters in. People are like 700 chapters. You got time for that? Listen, brother. Listen. When you're going through it, when you're in it, it does not feel like like there's enough. I'm not.
Like when I got to Egghead, bro, and I actually caught up, I was like, damn, I gotta wait for these episodes. Like it was different when you can binge it. It's just when you can binge something, it's easy because you can just sit there and watch it mindlessly. But when you get to the part where you caught up and you gotta wait now, you're like, dang, I want to go watch One Piece, but I can't. I can't.
I'm not gonna hold you. Sometimes it drags. There's low points. Obviously, no piece of media you consume is perfect. I tell y'all this all the time.
Facts.
But when you're in that Marineford, it did not feel like it was as long as it was. I was just like, Water 7, Annie's Lobby. If that was like 20 more chapters, I wouldn't have been mad at it, chat. I ain't gonna hold you. Water 7 and Annie's Lobby, I feel like people didn't hype it up enough for me. Like they said I wasn't ready for it. I feel like I still wasn't ready, chat. I feel like y'all was still holding back for me. I still feel like y'all capped because that was peak fiction. Peak fiction. You know what I'm saying? So I obviously do understand what people mean when they say that it does seem a bit long. Another thing is the art style. Now, I did have a incorrect opinion in which I said that Oda can't draw. He has the worst art style. Usually, I would compare this to him drawing Ichigo or drawing Naruto or something like that. Now, some of those are fan arts, but I guess that just wasn't Oda in his prime. Because, I mean, Oda in some of these cover arts, I mean, he's just like doing whatever, and they all look great. Oda's art style is cartoonish, but he's still a very, very, very good artist. And as far as the choreography of these fights go, he does a really good job as well. Now, I will say that as detailed as the art gets with these smaller panels, it does tend to bleed and it does tend to kind of overstimulate my eyes personally. I have to constantly zoom in on my phone. It does feel like there's just a lot going on. It's really hard to decipher all this information, or I have to just sit and stare at it for a second and be like, who is that? What is that? Sometimes it's not as clear, ideally, as I would like, but that's just a personal gripe personally. And then you talk about the world building. Now, I have read and watched series that I think have fairly good world building, such as Naruto, which I think is probably the biggest comparison I can make to One Piece, just in terms of sheer length and the cast of characters that it has. But this might just be recency bias, and it very well could be, but I feel like One Piece definitely does its world building better. I mean, Bleach is not even in the conversation. I'm not gonna hold you. My opinion of Bleach has fallen severely in the past couple of years. When I read from chapter 1 all the way to the end of the 1,000 Year Blood War in anticipation for the anime coming back, I was expecting a bit more than what I previously had read. I was like, okay, as a kid, I was like, oh, this is fire. Now it's not fire. And then I'm going through it. I'm like, was it though?
I can't give you that one. I can't give you that one, bro. I can't give you that one. Bleach is still fire, regardless, like the way they tie in the characters for the last arc is kind of hard. Like I just reread it again because like that obviously the anime stopped and it's not gonna be back for a while, but like I reread it again, it's still fire, bro. Like I'm not saying it's up there with Naruto or One Piece or any shows that have that type of length to it, but it's definitely still some fire. Like it's not mid. I won't say it's mid. I can't say it's mid. I
I don't
can't.
know. And now that and now that I'm deep into One Piece, I'm like, Bleach is in the top 3. Pourquoi? Why? Look, chat. Don't come to me. Listen, I'm keeping it real with y'all. I'm gonna keep it real with you. Sometimes y'all not gonna say things that you like, but is Bleach all that? Oh, no. It's not bad. It's far from bad.
It's definitely far from bad. Ain't mid. Come on now with that. Yeah.
If I tell y'all that I think Bleach is what people think Demon Slayer is, how would y'all?
Come on now. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Demon Slayer is good. It ain't that great. I read that too. And come on now. Don't do that. Don't do that.
I'll react to that, huh?
The animation for sure, fucking peak. But don't do that. The story, don't do that.
This is why I need scripts for some of these things, because I feel like I just speak off the dome and I feel like I just say things that are from emotion, but it doesn't mean I don't think it. It doesn't mean I don't think it. I definitely was not ready for the character interactions within One Piece as well. As far as the character relationships, I did not think that that would be the lifeblood of the series. It's about the feeling of adventure. Often with serialized stories, there's always a set destination. There's always a set thing we need to do. There's always big sense of urgency, and the threats tend to escalate more and more and more and more and more. Now, you have some of this in One Piece, but it does feel like a grand adventure, like an early Dragon Ball. You're going along for the ride. You have some of these goofy hijinks. Mostly pre-time skip is where the comedy was really, really hidden in One Piece.
Yeah.
Frankie was absolutely hysterical.
Frankie was.
Within his introduction as well. But it does feel like a cartoon. And now I know that feels weird to say, but it just feels so zany. And the character relationships I absolutely love. As goofy as the series looks from the outside in, you wouldn't think that you would have some of these very, very deep and interesting topics that Oda chooses to handle. Not even things such as racism within the Fishman Island arc, but you also have things such as genocide with the O'Hara Island. You also have governmental corruption. You have cycles of abuse that need to be broken. Just different things like this. It's just very interesting because it doesn't look like it. Something like a Naruto or something even like a Osama ranking of Kings. You could kind of get that vibe from the outside, and like maybe this isn't as kid friendly as it seems, but in One Piece I didn't really get that on the outside. It's very interesting. You also have this idea that fans tend to overhype One Piece. Now I think that is strictly subjective.
I think it's a little bit of both. It's a little bit of both.
But I don't think so. I think people really say that, hey, it's gonna be just a little bit, but give it some time. It'll get going. We promise. But I don't think One Piece was properly overhyped or anything like that. I think that actually I was very whelmed for One Piece. I was ready. People did kind of prep me. So shout out to you guys. I really do appreciate it. You have the idea that the animation is bad, and while yes, the older episodes do look dated, the manga's art is absolutely phenomenal. And I mean, modern One Piece has shown that it has the ability to adapt. The sound design, while some people have an issue with it, I don't see it necessarily as a bad thing. I feel like it's kind of trademarked, but I do ponder the idea of what would modern One Piece sound like with the fantastic animation. I'm sure there's some fan animations out there that have been clapped by Toei, maybe, but I don't know. I genuinely was not prepared for how emotional One Piece would make me. Maybe because it's just that I'm getting older and I have more life experience, but One Piece is definitely one of the only series to make me cry multiple times throughout. I've cried watching a series here and there, but especially for something like a shonen, I rarely cry during shonen consumption. But One Piece, dude...
It's definitely some real emotional parts of One Piece. Definitely some real emotional parts of One Piece. I mean, if you watched it, you definitely know. I mean, Marineford is one of them. Copper Story's one of them. I mean, Usopp's kind of one of them, I guess you can say, but I wouldn't say that too much. It's definitely. I mean, fuck, Kuma shit. Talk about emotional, bro. Kuma's story is
I
insane.
cried for the first time reading Drum Island, as well
Never
as
Chopper.
the Going Merry.
The Going Merry, oh, that's bro. Going Merry hits. That part hits. That part hits.
I wasn't expecting that, man. I didn't know Oda was just gonna come up, put some boxing gloves on, and just right in my stomach. I didn't know that was coming in.
I didn't
Big
either.
brother, I didn't know that. Maybe
Facts.
more emotional than I ever got reading Bleach.
Okay, Bleach ain't supposed to be one of those. Let's be honest. Let's be honest. Let's call a spade a spade. Bleach ain't gonna make you emotional.
I'm sorry. My bad. I'm sorry. Bleach fans, I'm sorry. I'll stop. I'll stop. I think for the last point of contention that I would say I had is that Luffy is a dumb main character. Well, yes, Luffy is simple. He is a static character, and there's actually nothing wrong with that. When you have a static character and they move very little, there's nothing absolutely wrong with that. The world kind of shapes around them. Interesting thing is that we actually don't see any of Luffy's thought bubbles. He always just says what's on his mind and what he's thinking, which is cool. But Luffy does change in small ways well throughout the story. He does learn things. Obviously, some of the experience that he had with Garp as a kid and how he's talking to Vivi in the desert when Vivi, he believes that Vivi is naive and her thinking that no one would get hurt in their conflict. And this moment really stuck out to me because I was like, Luffy actually thought about a situation like this? It's very kind of deep. And Luffy is very goal-driven, but Luffy doesn't care about some of the politics and the cultural differences with the things that he occurs. He just wants to do what he wants, whether it's right or wrong. Obviously, breaking his brother out of a prison and letting all of these criminals out, obviously, objectively is wrong, but we still root for Luffy anyway, because that's his brother. That's Ace. We like Ace. Ace is cool, and we love Luffy as a character, so we want to see Luffy attain his goal. It's funny because people think that the filler ruins the pacing in One Piece, and actually I'll throw a small statistic at you. One Piece actually has far less filler than a lot of long-running shonen. One Piece actually has like less than 10% of filler compared to others being 40% plus.
Like Bleach.
But I also read the manga and I just kind of dip and dodge every piece of filler that goes on. I will say that the pacing for the anime, as far as where I'm at now, does feel like it's dragging compared to other shows, but I also watched Naruto during the war arc, so I kind of already know what I'm headed for with that. People think I'm just a shonen meathead. I need to talk about some other shows I've watched. Ooh, but wait, I like shonen. I don't know. But let me know down in the comments.
Ain't no wrong with that, bro. Hey, Shonen's fire. Ain't no wrong with that.
Below what you guys think. Are you guys also former One Piece haters and you've been converted, you've actually heard the gospel, you changed your whole worldview? I'm very curious to see what you guys think. Let's be your boy Daffy, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Please make sure you leave a like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Y'all make sure you take care of yourselves, guys, and have a damn good.
Nah, facts. I mean, I used to be a One Piece hater, like I said in the beginning of this video, so I definitely can understand like the negative stigma that people get. I feel like I feel like a lot of people did like hype One Piece a lot, or they talked about it and you're like, oh, you gotta watch it, and you see how many episodes and you're like, bro, I'm not watching 1,200 episodes of the show. Like, no, like it just don't make no sense. And then you start to watch it, like he said, once you get past East Blue, it turns into something different. Like it gets a lot easier to watch for some reason. I mean, I do have my issues with certain arcs of the series. Like I feel like Dressrosa was extremely long for no reason. Some of the parts of Wano were kind of long for no reason. Like the fight with Kaido felt like it took forever. There's just certain things that happen in the show that you're just like, okay, bro, like why? Like why is this dragging so long? Like, but I feel like overall, as somebody who was a One Piece hater, who is no longer a One Piece hater, obviously, I think it's worth a watch. If you want to put in the time and have the time to watch it, I think you can. I think you should. I don't necessarily, like I say, I don't recommend this to a lot of people when I recommend animes, because it's just, I feel like it's a lot to have somebody sit there and just watch One Piece and And that 1,100 and some episodes is intimidating, man. It's at the end of the day, it's very intimidating, and the anime's not over, so because the manga's not over yet, so it's still gonna be more episodes to come. But at some point, if you do want to watch it, definitely watch it. It's great. I really enjoy One Piece. I would love to rewatch it, but I ain't doing all that. Every now and then I go and watch an episode that I just wanted to see or see something. But until the anime is fully caught up, I think I'm gonna just chill off of it and watch everything else. But yeah, man. We just reacted to the OGDaffy's video, The Delusion of One Piece Haters. Go and show them some love, like, subscribe, and as well for my channel, like, subscribe, comment down below what you thought. Were you a One Piece hater? If you were you always a One Piece fan? And if you're a One Piece hater now, let me know why you hate it. But as always, man, I will see you guys on the next one. Peace and love.